Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where four guys talk about gaming-related stuff and offer somewhat informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary Weekly, and I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Imee, the Eternal Barcode.
Hello! I'm a barcode. Beep boop.
Mr. Boombody of Mr. Boombody on Twitch.
Hello.
And the Nordic Cajun himself.
Oh, let's get ready to rumble.
That's copyrighted.
No, yeah,
As long as you don't do the bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
Well, now it's
good.
done. So,
Dang.
today
I'm
we're...
pretty sure he sued for cease and desist on that. Demonetized.
Damn, it was a good run, guys.
Yeah, well, here we are. Today we're going to talk about equal partner rights, alien romance, and porn hats. The topics alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Bunch of dickheads.
Oh, good lord. Shut up.
I've been holding that joke in all damn day. You must, sir.
All right.
Oh god, now I have hiccups. Oh shit.
Success. We have one. There's an error in the code.
Oh no. These might last for a while.
Well, you know where
My
your
record
mute
is
button
4 hours of Cards Against Humanity hiccuping, so...
Was that like a challenge?
Sure.
I'd rather it not be a challenge.
All right. So, equal partner rights. This was actually spawned from a conversation that we had from an article from Kotaku talking about Nintendo recognizing same-sex partners. The title of the article is Nintendo Japan says it recognizes same-sex marriages even though Japan doesn't. And there's a lot of things packed into this. Some sensationalist, other things, some really good journalism. The part that I'm going to read out here, and we're going to go ahead and discuss on it, and they've went ahead and bolded it for me, so I don't have to find it, which makes it nice. It says, we introduced the partnership system in March 2021 as one initiative based on this philosophy. Although same-sex marriages are not currently recognized under Japanese law, this system ensures employees who are in a domestic partnership with a same-sex partner have the same benefits as employees in opposite-sex marriages. We have also established that common law marriage between couples will be observed in the same way as legal marriage. And then after that, it's a bunch of PR words. So, yeah, that's what we've got, and we've had a lot of good conversations on this. The thing I'm really concerned with right now is that while Nintendo's taking the initiative to recognize, Japan does not, and it doesn't. My thoughts on that are very unique, but let's hear what Imee has to say about it.
Oh, well, we're starting with the opinionated one. Because we have the top-notch quality editing and, production staff, we kind of forgot the scene change. Ignore that.
Oh, scene change. You want one of those? Well, hold on.
There we go. No one noticed.
We didn't check the budget. It's there.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah,
you see nothing.
Yeah, we totally didn't. Yeah. Anyways, so we're going with the opinionated barcode. Holy Christ. Okay. On one hand, I absolutely love this. I think it's absolutely fantastic that Nintendo Japan is going to go forward with this and really, 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 really make it welcoming and a good place to work for same-sex couples. I only have one problem with this.
Yes.
They didn't mention trans people. And that pisses me right the fuck off because I did some digging. And you don't let me have too much spare time on my hands.
With a shovel.
Oh, I don't need a shovel. I just need C4 and a whole lot of anger.
Yeah.
So I found out something really, really disturbing. Japan is the only G7 country that does not recognize same-sex couples, and it does not recognize transgendered people unless you become legally sterilized. And I have two reports from Human Rights Watch, one dated 19 March 2019 and one dated 12 October 2021. So this is very recent shit as of the date today, which is July 16, 2022. this is really recent things. They're still forcing people to have a surgical sterilization before their new gender as a trans person is recognized. What in the actual fuck is that?
And I'm assuming this is just pertaining. This pertains to them across the board, not even people who are trying to transition. It's people who claim to be trans. Correct?
The article or both articles I read from Human Rights Watch don't specify exactly that. What they do say here, I have the article in front of me. I'm just trying to skim it really quickly to find out where I was looking because I didn't make notes because I'm awesome.
What? I mean, while you're looking scientifically, if they do transition, 9 times out of 10, that actually usually happens biologically anyway.
Yeah, like if you want to
But-
transition, you should not have to be sterilized to do
No.
it, to have your gender recognized. Like it should just be you go to wherever you need to go to get your ID changed and say, yeah, my gender is this now. Fuck right off. Like, why the hell do you need to be sterilized to have your gender recognized? That is complete trash.
Like, not everybody wants to step up and go through the entire process of transitioning to the gender of their choice because of the long-term effects that it will have on their body, completely transferring over. Everybody
Right.
just wants to be
I
them.
understand that.
There's no reason why they should. There's no reason why they should hold people who don't want to transition at the same standard as those people in terms of the sterilization. There's no reason that should ever be on the table.
And-
Period.
Exactly, and that's what really pisses me off is because, you know, if you transition, the only way the government will legally recognize you is if you get sterilized surgically. How fucking backwards is that? Great on Nintendo to say fuck you, we're gonna, you know, give equal rights and treatment to all of our same-sex couples, but what about all the trans people? They're getting fucking still stomped on by the government. And like one guy is actually fighting this law. There's a guy who's he's a transgender man. His name is Jen Suzuki. Back in 2021, he filed a court request to have his legal gender recognized as a male without undergoing sterilization surgery as prescribed by national law. Why the fuck does he have to fight that? Why the fuck does he have to say, I do not want to be sterilized just for my gender to be recognized? Holy shit!
Well, it's like any other fight against any government anywhere, really. It's just like, this is established thing. This is how it's supposed to be. And I don't know what decision process was actually put into place where that was actually a requirement. I am thankful that we're in a place that doesn't require that, but we have our own issues over here, for sure.
Yeah, give them time.
Yeah, give them time. I mean, that's a whole different conversation.
So I'll be posting links to Canadian immigration information.
Yeah.
Come here. We need more people. We need more diversity.
Indeed. Yeah. So,
But on the positive light of that, that is big for Nintendo to do that, especially when you're literally gonna. Nintendo is coincides with one of the biggest names coming out of Japan, at least for the Western market, and for them to take that stance alone is a big, bold statement to their partners across the sea as well, especially with everything going down with our government, Lumi said. I think Nintendo Mario got some big balls right now. He has some big balls to come out and say that because we saw what happened when Mickey Mouse tried.
Yep.
I think I missed that one. What did Mickey Mouse do?
Mickey and Disney tried to go against the "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida, and Florida's kind of went nuts about it to the point where now OSHA they got OSHA knocking on Disney's door because they're trying to strip away Disney's immunity status when it comes to you have to help me here.
So Disney's able to self-police itself as its own governing body in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
that.
And the governor and the legislation decided they were going to be like, you wanna not have that anymore?
Ooh.
You want to be a normal corporation and pay taxes and have to be up to the code like normal folk? And they shut up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard flex to lose.
I mean, when you can like, yeah, it's
The difference is
the amount of things that they don't have to do when it comes to like, I mean, everything, all the safety, you know, not policing per se, but like all your fire and health and all the subsequent things that people have to adhere to. Disney didn't have to adhere to as a company and a corporation in Florida. So,
Hmm.
and I mean, people can say what they want about California, but I mean, for the money, it comes from Florida as far as Disney goes. So,
Cool. I now know this thing.
the learning is half the fun. This is funucation.
Sorry, I can get really ranty when it comes to you know, people who are transgender because I have a lot of transgendered friends, and I will fucking defend them to the death. Like fuck anybody who comes after them.
I'm still on the stand of anything that takes the rights away from another human being shouldn't be a thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like we are
Yeah.
all humans just trying to make it day to day on this freaking blueberry in the middle of the universe. The last thing we
Blueberry.
need is freaking people telling us that we can't be us. And it's just
Yeah,
it's aggravating. Yeah, beyond aggravating.
just slightly.
It reminds me of the late great Bill Hicks's skit about the roller coaster, or it's all just a ride. I don't know if you ever heard that. It's about 2 minutes long. Probably one of the most like eye-opening kind of things that really it resounded back then, but holy crap, does it hit now? So yeah, it's called the ride or something. If you have some time, go look it up. It's probably one of the more profound things that ever came out of Bill Hicks' mouth.
Nice.
Interesting.
And
I'll
that's
have to
saying
go
something
look
because
into
it is Bill Hicks.
that.
Oh, Billy.
My stance on the whole thing is that, and I'm right there with all of you. That's people are people, and people should do as people do without infringing on other people, unless of
Mhm.
course they want them to. And I don't think that
That's called a kink.
yeah, exactly. And I haven't heard that kink yet. Hey, can you please oppress me?
I mean, there's a term there. No, it exists. It exists.
Well, that's
Rule 34 exists for a reason. Let's
Yes,
just skip
yes.
over that.
Mhm.
Exactly. So it just doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to consider yourself female, consider yourself female. If you want to consider yourself male, by all means consider yourself male. If you want to be a they, a them, a she, or whatever it is that you decide that you identify with, that is you and part of your identity and should not be challenged at any given point.
Because at the end of the day, it does not affect me.
Nope.
That is all you, your business, the way you want to live your life. Do it. You should be allowed to do it without the
Mhm.
government stepping in and making things illegal that shouldn't be illegal,
Well, the
or
other part,
taking rights away from people that shouldn't have rights being taken away just because they
the other part
are not
about this
like them.
is that it also puts a label on folks. This is a transgendered person. This is a gay person. This is a lesbian. And now you have a qualifier for what kind of person that they are. And that immediately categorizes and creates groups and rifts. So, and that's why I have a hard time with this particular subject, because I've always considered people as people, but making that distinction either by request or by by the culture has definitely has been trying for me. So
Yeah.
It's rough because you cannot say the right thing and make everybody like you or not have one side attack you.
on the top,
Well, and
I
even so, if people want to be offended, let's be honest.
oh
If
yeah,
people
Yeah.
want to be offended, like let's be honest, bro or dude has been in my mind gender neutral for the longest time.
Hmm.
Right? Because it was like, "Oh, bro, hey, dude, what's up?" Even man, for the longest time, man was like, it was like, "Hey, you there?" And I'm from the South and whatnot, and I mean, I know, Rail backed me up on this. Like, dude, bro, man, guy. It was like, I mean, you call women that sometimes, like, not really anymore, But like your chick friends was just like dude bro guy man even
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's just
they
it was
they
just the way what it was, you know.
they're right there with you, going back and forth. Like it was just part of the lingo. Same thing as like them calling you sugar or love or honey or sweetie.
Sugar love. Oh God, you can't say it. Well, I mean, down here in the South, we still do, but like,
You guys are weird.
there's a lot of places that you can't even say like sugar honey because like that's you know it's
I would get in so much trouble up
you get
north.
so
I
much
would get
trouble,
in
so much trouble
because
because
I
it's
just
just
how I am. I just
it's
how I
how we
was
are.
raised.
That's how we are. It's just it's common vernacular down here. It's colloquialisms. But yeah, you call a woman honey, and then but here's the thing: if they want to be offended, you know, people be offended, you know, and
Mhm.
that's unfortunately the culture we're in now of this the outrage culture of you know the I'm gonna stop before I get going because it's just you know like I don't know,
It's like
especially even if you stop and say well I'm not I don't mean it as that people be like oh well you still said it and I'm taking it as that so you know even if you clarify you're still in the wrong so
So the only
very
thing,
frustrating.
in my opinion, the only thing that we as cisgendered, which means we right we are we see ourselves as the gender that was assigned to us at birth. So
Sure.
that would be male for me, which is weird for a barcode, but hey. The only thing that we as cisgender people should be saying is to especially to trans people is I want to make your life easier. What can I do to help?
I'm on board.
And that's the only thing that fucking matters because if I have an easier time getting say social assistance than someone who's trans, that's fucking bullshit. That person who's trans should have no extra hoops or obstacles than I should. Straight up. Like it should just be, they fill out the same paperwork I do and it gets reviewed the same way and it gets applied the same way. Like that's the only fucking thing. And to get yourself into that mindset, it did take me a few years to really change my view of a lot of things. But the mindset I'm in now these days over the last, I guess, decade or more is I want to help people and I want to elevate people.
hmm
And I get, yeah, sure, I could oppress people. I could absolutely put them down and be like, haha, I'm way better than you. But at the end of the day, I feel like garbage trying to even just contemplate that because it's not who I am morally and ethically. And we need more people, especially in the gaming industry, to really reach out and say, hey, um, you are having a shitty time getting, a job or getting promoted. What can I do for you to help you succeed?
Yeah, the true leaders aren't the people you see with their backs turned to you. It's the leaders that you see turning around, bent over, and reaching down to help the people off the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. What did Mr. Rogers say? Always look for the helpers.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Always look for the helpers. And he wasn't wrong. Like, those are the people you want leading everything. The ones who uplift and really, really go out of the way to help other people and treat everybody with respect and dignity. And, you know, like I said, just go out of their way to be helpful. I had something else profound to say and then my brain melted. So,
More importantly, we have globalists to fight. Okay, there's a bigger threat out there, people. Without going super into it, like the division that we have just in the world, like in the world, not even in the U.S., but in the world, is crazy. It's people need to come together. It's going to be
hmm
Yep.
bad.
And that's on us,
It is. Wake up,
the quote
people.
unquote woke people to
Well,
uplift
people need to wake the
and
fuck up. I mean, people say
yeah,
they're woke, but they're still sleeping.
Yeah.
They're
That's
yeah,
still
a
sleeping.
like
different
those
dream,
of
same
us
sleep.
who
One eye
exactly, and those of us
open.
and those of us who are progressive understand this and look to it as we need to help. We need to make sure these people have a fair go at things. And equality, goes so far. Sometimes you need equity, which means you're going to give something more to one person than you would to another. I mean, there's a comic that I occasionally see up on uh, Twitter every now and then, and it's like three people standing trying to watch a hockey game,
On the
and there's
boxes
like
on
a
the
really
fence.
tall person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got like the really tall person, the medium height person, and the short person. The short person can't see, and the medium person can barely see over. Tall
Hmm.
person's like, "Fuck it, I don't
hmm
care."
Fuck it, I don't
You
care.
give
And they
everyone
give
the
boxes
same.
of the same size. Yeah.
Yeah, so equalities, everyone gets the same boxes, and the short kid still can't see. And equality or equity says the short kid gets the really tall box, the tall person gets nothing, and the medium height person gets a little
A
bit
small box.
higher. And yeah, and then everyone's heads are at the same level, and everyone can see the same thing. And that's what we need is way more equity in this world. Because, like I said, equality only goes so far. But
Hmm.
I don't need personally the same level of support that someone who's working minimum wage is or who's looking for a job and currently unemployed. So equality for me still puts me ahead of that person. Equity gives that person a way better chance of getting, raising themselves up to a much higher level.
There's also the reverse of that, and there was a story I think written on it. I can't remember the name of the story right now. Where, like in your terms, you're actually talking in a positive sense. Bring the the ones that who cannot up to where they can. But there's also the other side of this, which may be pushed because it may be easier to handicap those who can to give those who can't a chance.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to be able to help other people is to take your foot off their throat.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the
Like,
people who are in that position.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the biggest problem, sadly.
Yeah.
the most interesting conversation I've ever had with somebody. This is completely not related to gaming at all. So we're going on a real tangent here. When I was buying my house is a new build, so I went and talked to the salesperson, and they were black, and they're like, "Oh," and we're both pretty young. They were about 5, 6 years younger than me, and they were like, "Oh, our housing, buying experience has probably been roughly the same." I'm like, and without it, one of my problems with having ADD is I tend to blurt things out without actually realizing what I've said, and without even a moment to even think about what I said, I blurted out to this guy, "I'm white, you're black. Our experiences, there's no way they were the same." And it stunned him for a second until he realized what I was saying. And to him, I was acknowledging the fact that, yeah, he's been treated a whole lot differently. And then we started talking, and it was kind of funny. It went from like a business relationship to more of a friendship, because the guy really opened up to me, which was really nice. And we opened up to our experiences trying to buy things. Him being very, very young and trying to buy a home, it was complete night and day. Like a white person would come in, the salespeople were like, "Hey, I'm going to talk to this person," and meanwhile he's there like, "Hey, I'm interested in the house. Like, I've got everything I need for this house. Why won't you talk to me?"
Yep.
So that was the end of my tangent, and I forgot where I was going with this because goddamn, my brain is messed up tonight. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, it's the same here in the States too, except um, no,
Seems
no,
to
except it's
yeah,
the same.
it's
It's a mindset. It's again grouping us into a column. You mentioned black and white. Again, that's another vertical division. Black, white, trans, gay, you know, whatever it is it may be. And people categorize like that, and they treat accordingly based on their own. What is that word?
Well, their own history and predispositions about different
Well,
classifications of people. And
internal
I mean,
bias.
classifications, internal biases and whatnot. But I mean, people will have those, and I mean, it's a subconscious thing. You're gonna have your life experiences around, whether it be, men, women, people of whatever. I mean, categories. As a as humans, we have to categorize everything, right? So, like, if I say, "Oh, hey, I've been playing this game," uh, and you're, "Oh yeah, what's it like?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, it's like this game, this game, this game." And unfortunately, that's just like the way we are. That's just the way we process things by association and whatnot. So it's breaking that. I mean, more or less coding, programming, um,
it,
to think about things not in a different way than what we're used to.
it kind of forces us to take away the process of actually, well, processing it and then just assuming something off the bat just by
Hmm.
hearing what category, what label, what idea it lines up with, and then we just say, oh, okay, we just accept it from there instead of actually doing the homework, doing the background work, and saying, oh, it's not like that at all. It has one tiny aspect of the game that reminds me of said game, but it's nothing like a set game. What you said.
Right.
That goes across the board for everything we've
Oh, yeah.
discussed tonight.
Yeah, like fighting your own, and that kind of segues into personal biases, which is really funny when you start talking to that about that with people, because some people understand their their own personal biases, and then other people just don't even understand that they exist. Like one of my personal biases is, if you have chocolate ice cream that has anything in it, I'm going to not get that, and I'll just go for plain chocolate ice cream because that's a personal bias, and that's the easiest, like,
But Rocky
you know,
Road, bro.
food
Rocky
related stuff is
Road.
no, gross.
Yeah,
I don't
Rocky
like
Road.
that. But that's the thing, like, but that's my own personal biases. But when you look at it like, I like this style of game, or I like this style of game, and you don't like that style of game, it's, or you're like, here, try this game that you don't normally like. These biases, getting past them, apply not only to games, not only to food, but also to people, and understanding that, everything is different, and at least trying things, at least trying to get to know somebody, or trying new food, takes a lot of effort, and a lot of people are really scared to make that level of effort. And it's really interesting to to make those changes in your life, to understand your biases, and to really understand that, hey, this is kind of interesting, looking at things from this perspective, or trying this new thing. Or, when you play a video game and they're like, hey, we'll give you a whole bunch of, like, story options, like, you can do this in the story, or you can do that in the story, you can romance this person, you can bang this, alien. It's really, really interesting how that works.
Ooh, speaking of. But before we get to banging aliens, just to wrap up this topic.
That was the segue I was going for.
Hey.
I know you want to talk about that, but we're actually going to segue into something different since we're talking about human rights. But needless to say, congrats, Nintendo. Thanks for trying to do your best and to treat everyone
Yes.
equally. Good job. Here,
Can you stop DMCAing everything else on YouTube, please?
Yeah, I would really
Please.
like to,
Can you
tournament
stop
Mario Kart.
content by
That'd be great.
declaiming everything?
Either way, applause. Good job.
Yes.
So, but next is this article from PCGamer, and China.
Oh, we're gonna do the porn hats.
Oh yeah, the world's leader in personal space violations have been testing it's saying a hat. It's probably some complicated device that has an 80% accuracy of detecting if you are seeing pornographic material.
Wait a minute. What?
Or having dirty thoughts, or
No,
analyzing?
it's not. It just triggers on the pornographic imagery. It filters out everything out, except
I
it's
don't know
only
if I like
80%.
this kind of talk. Okay. I don't know if I'm
So
doing
it's 80% accurate. That leads me to believe they didn't look at furry porn.
Ooh.
Rule 34, people. Rule 34.
I
So
don't
if you're
know.
gonna train that
There
shit,
was that. Did I don't know if you ever saw, but there was some. I think it might have been a year ago. There was a news article that was going around about a guy that made a robot that could use its orifice to
oh
suck and
right,
blow.
yes, I
And there
heard
was a
about that.
picture. There was a picture of the guy next to it. I'm like, at what point do you put your member into a mechanical device? I don't know if I ever could.
No
I don't know if I ever could. You can
instructions
be like,
unclear. Put it in
it's
toaster.
completely safe. It's completely safe. I don't know.
Fleshlight automaton? That sounds
And
No.
now there is I will say there is that Japanese, is it Japanese or Chinese, that has the automated milking machines for people to donate their fluids. I want to say it's Japanese. Might be Chinese. Might be Korean.
Oh my
But
god!
there's an
I search
autonomous.
history.
There's an autonomy. I enjoy that search history.
For
But
those
there's
of
an
you who don't want to
autonomous-
get your hands dirty. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a machine for people who want to do medical like medical donations of semen. I mean, let's be honest, it's a medical term. They go up literally to like
Oh,
the blood
no.
the blood pressure machines. It's like that, but for your penis.
Oh no!
And that's been on the internet. That's been floating around the internet for a while. So
Oh
surprised you haven't heard of
no!
that.
I just looked it up.
Yeah,
Oh
it's there.
no!
Is it Japanese? I'm pretty sure it's Japanese,
It's
right?
Chinese.
Chinese. There we go.
Fanway.
So it's a machine.
They make extractors.
Mm-hmm.
Extractors. Mm.
Oh
Mhm.
no!
Boy, that is the most arousing term. Hey, can you bring me the extractor?
Bring me the extractor.
Yeah, but this thing is like,
Yep.
oh, that is not a small device either.
It's like the size of like one of those like blood pressure machines that you find at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah, except you don't sit down at it.
No, it's just no.
I've been on the internet too long.
Oh no, you
find-
can buy them
See-
online for between $5,000 and $6,000. Oh no.
For the longest time, and I mean Ray and Lemmy, you'll remember my joke of it costs how much? Does it blow you? Well, that machine does.
Oh no.
Well, now you have an answer. Awesome.
Now you have an answer for $5,000.
Oh no. Oh
On the
no.
actual article itself, I was reading up on it a little bit, and it's thankfully only on the research level.
Mhm.
Apparently, they stick your head in a helmet, which I'm assuming is like those old school hair dryers back in the 80s and 90s that the women used to go do. And
Oh, the perm thingies, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's
Hair-
one of those things, and they attach a whole bunch of little suction cups to your forehead, and they just start throwing images at you, and it zaps you. That's what I'm assuming.
So are
let's
we
take a quick
evolving
look
from the South Park movie where Cartman has the brain
V-chip.
shocker when he
Oh,
curses,
yeah.
the V-chip?
Barbra
Is this the new version
Streisand!
of-
Oh,
Barbra Streisand,
no.
yeah. Is this
No.
the new? Did South Park
Did
already
you guys
call
see
it?
what? Did you guys see what Enigmatical Gaming just put in chat?
Yeah?
Like $5,000 to save my wrist from carpal tunnel syndrome.
I mean,
Oh
let's
my
be.
God.
I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
if
be
we
real
really
about it.
want to get analytical about it, right? Like if you're
Oh, you
if
mean the
someone
right
who-
direction? No,
if you're
no.
someone who goes out to Nevada to go to I mean that's got to be like $1,000 a pop, right? I mean I feel like it's like 5
Oh,
times
good
it pays
Lord.
itself in 5 trips. I mean,
So
and,
it's a shower cap type style thing with a whole bunch of wires that they stick on your head, and basically what it does, it detects your brainwave patterns to decide whether or not you've been looking at pornographic imagery, and it can actually filter out emotional states, low energy, and random thoughts. I don't think they tried it on someone with ADD. Fuck yeah, let's go.
I don't that
He volunteered to
that sounded a
distribute
little
China.
too dystopian
I-
for me.
I
Like,
will-
can
I will
control
volunteer
your,
to have-
your feelings and whatnot, your emotions.
I will gladly have someone hook something up to my head to watch my brain pattern, as all of a sudden Rick Astley gets stuck in my head on loop for 45 fucking minutes. And not even
Well,
like
you
any other
can't
Rick
take
Astley song. No, it's
system-
the Rick roll.
you
And-
can't take version 1 of any tech that's going to go into your brain. Let's be honest.
Yeah, look at what was it, Tesla, and they're trying to integrate it into their own tech. Like that's just a huge mistake. And what's interesting about this particular thing, while they're doing it internally for their internal censorship for detecting pornographic content, and mind you, they've already censored a lot of that stuff. So I'm not exactly sure how people can get off on black boxes of any size. You
Look
know.
at you, Jaime.
Oh no. Oh no.
Thin
Leave
bar,
me
thick
out of
bar,
this.
thin bar.
Leave the barcodes out of this. They did nothing wrong.
That's an extra thick bar you've got there.
Oh no.
Oh, I see 2 of them. Oh my.
Oh my.
I
But-
said I quit.
But if they get it down to like a small implant level where they can
The
just
barcode has left the chat.
oh no.
I'm sorry.
But the biggest fear is that if they get it down to an implant level where he is gone. And
Oh,
away-
he must have crashed.
I left the chat.
I just choked on the water. Oh my god. I'm dying. Sorry, Lumi. Please continue your thought.
I'm not sure if I can. No, well, think about it. They've got this external device that detects your meta waves or whatever it is to determine if you're seeing pornographic content at 80% accuracy. The moment that they're able to get that into some chip they slide into your skull after they knock you out, like
You're done.
You're done. Like, and that's and China already has a lot of other privacy invasive things like their social scoring system where you have to maintain.
Social credit score is
Alright.
it's terrible.
Oh my god.
You imagine not being able to go
Whoa.
home one day because your social credit score dropped because you had a Snickers. I mean,
Oh man, like that.
Oh man, mine would
I
be
don't
around
see
the
social
negatives.
credit scoring hitting being able to take off here in the U.S. for at least another 10, 15 years. I mean, I think it could happen if they put the right campaigning behind it. I just think it's going to be at least another 10, 15 years.
To go back to this research, they only used 15 male volunteers between 20 and 25.
Yeah,
And the
that's
assumption
not
is they
good
were
enough.
looking at the assumption is that they were looking at straight porn because homosexuality is illegal and widely frowned upon in China. So this 80% accuracy is based off of straight porns. They haven't even got to the good stuff. I mean, what? And they haven't even looked at Rule 34.
Now, and all that being said, I guess to put it towards what a more serious note of what it could imply, if they could get a chip that can censor that, just imagine what else they could censor down the road.
Oh yeah.
You think anything against the government, against a politician, against anybody, you could have somebody
already
knocking
doing
on your
that pretty
door.
well. They already do that pretty well. Let's be honest. I mean, if you do any sort of research, and I mean, and you can't take any sort of one singular person as you know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But I mean, from the research I've seen about the Chinese government and whatnot, I mean, they have been censoring for a very long time, and suppressing anything that isn't, you know. I mean, look at video games. Whenever you type in what is it, Tiananmen Square, 1960 whatever, and people would
Right.
crash because literally if they were connected and the servers caught wind of literally the phrase, you could crash people out of games.
1989.
Yeah, 1989. There you go.
Wow.
I mean,
Wasn't that long ago. It was
but that
really
was
not
the
that long
thing
ago.
for the longest time. Like people in CS:GO would type in Tiananmen Square 1969, and if you were connected from a Chinese host or from a Chinese server and it caught that line of code, it would literally go whoop and disconnect you from the internet. Like, it's crazy.
And they're hardcore, but all the rules are there. Like they banned the new Thor movie because of the spoiler alert. There's a few scenes of same sex affection in the movie, and they banned the entire movie across
Did
China.
they ban Buzz Lightyear in China
Oh
too?
man,
That I
they had
don't
Buzz
to have.
know.
Lightyear has a same-sex kiss, I'm pretty sure, at some point in it.
It was a very subtle welcome
Very
home
subtle,
kiss
very
at
quick.
the very
Yeah.
end of the movie, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
it was quick, but I mean, let's be honest. Like they did all the whatnot with Star Wars: Force Awakens, with Flynn, with just the posters
Yeah,
and
because
whatnot,
they
and
flipped it away right at the last second. You got to watch an angry slug.
wow.
Because when they have the same sex kiss, they start kissing, and then all of a sudden you see the angry slug just like glaring at them. It's like, are you fucking kidding, Disney? Seriously?
Well, I mean,
Oh no, they're
and let's be
kissing. Oh
honest, Disney wants
no.
them China bucks. I mean, you can't really fault them. I mean, as a corporation, well, that's all they want. But
You
I'm
know,
certainly disappointed.
Tencent Entertainment and Tencent, the gaming company, we will have to talk about at another date because
Oh, that's you and me, buddy.
they
We want toe to toe
oh
with that
fuck,
one.
they are the gateway to all things China, and they are very close to the government. And boy, does that piss me off. And yes, Epic made a statement on it. Blah 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 blah. I still don't fucking trust Tencent.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's why I don't give Epic any of my money.
Same.
Amen to that. But I will
Lord
take their free
Gaben can
games.
take my money.
I will take their free games though.
Oh yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
even take that shit. I don't even touch their stuff. I don't even have an account with them.
That's
like,
fair.
Gaben can keep taking my money on the Steam sales.
Yeah, at least he's in
And
Seattle.
my
I know
wallet,
where that
my
is.
wallet hates me, but Lord Gaben can have my money.
Lord Gaben needs to step it up. They've been on resting on their laurels a little too long, in my opinion.
I won't take their blood money. Nice. Fuck yes.
Nice.
Pour blood for the blood god.
Skulls for the
Oh
skulls.
no, no, you heretics, burn! Oh man, we're totally gonna turn into a Warhammer 40k thing at some point.
I mean, if you haven't watched If the Emperor Had Texas Speech, I don't know if we can.
Oh hell yes! I might
What
be in a
happened?
Discord that has a couple of the voice actors in it.
Oh, that's
which
awesome. That's
Oh,
that's
it's fantastic.
probably the greatest web series I think, and since
Yes.
since
I-
what was the one with Black Mage and Red Mage and White Mage and Fighter, all the generic.
No
8-bit
idea.
theater.
Yeah, it's probably the best web series since 8-bit theater.
So the web series I've watched over the last 20 some odd years, 30 some odd years, Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends is solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Kill Frog, Joe Cartoon, and of course from Mr. Crinkles himself, the Madness series.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
Madness series. That's a
Oh
classic. Oh my
fuck! I
god.
love the Madness series. I love Kill Frog. Joe Cartoon was kind of fun. The Stoneflies were my absolute favorite. And Happy Tree Friends should be a child's show. I mean, what?
I mean, should be.
No. No.
I don't have children, so I don't know. Is that wrong?
Well, I can test
Yes.
it
I
out
mean,
of my
parents
house.
might think so, but we don't have kids, so we're not parents, so it doesn't. You know.
What's the problem with watching, like having children watch somebody's eye get ripped out and their head chopped off
I mean,
and
to
blood
be fair,
spurting everywhere?
Oh,
to be fair, my child already watches crap like that on YouTube, and it's out there on all of. It's not like his favorite freaking games are the Five Nights at Freddy's things, and he's been playing it since he was 3. Boy knows no fear. So
Oh no.
he I walk in the living room and some of the stuff he's watching I wouldn't have watched as a kid, but he's just over there. It's funny.
I just got introduced to a TV show or a web series from one of my best friends. We were hanging out in Discord one night, and she was like, "Hey, we should probably watch this show." I'm like, "What?" It's called Hell of a Boss, and it's
Hell of a boss.
Yes!
yeah. So I just
Yes.
got into it, and I got into the Has Been Hotel.
Yes.
They're fucking amazing, and they're
Dude, honey,
exactly the right amount of violence that I love. I mean,
It's-
what?
She
good.
does
yeah.
such a good job with her story and her animation,
Yes.
man.
My
Such a
my
good
friend
job.
went so far as to drag me into her Twitch channel and gift me a 1-month sub.
Like I cannot wait for Has Been Hotel's actual show to start. Like they got picked up for
Oh, I
actual
know.
television.
Oh, nice.
So I am looking forward to seeing what they do. Now, there is a lot of controversy about some of the voice actors not coming back, including Angels, because of what they had to do, which made me really upset. But I think they can make up for it just in their animation alone. Like it was a small team. The Has Been Hotel one shot. I still go back and listen to that last song all the time. And then when I finally sat down and watched Hell of a Boss, oh my god! Like it's like you said, it's the perfect amount of just stupidity, violence, and cruelty.
Yes. Oh
with,
fuck!
with enough story behind it to make you actually get attached to the characters.
I can't thank my friend enough for her introducing me to the show, because holy shit, I love it. And at first she's like, "I don't know if you're gonna like it." I'm like, "I like Invader Zim." She's like,
Oh, then you're good.
you'll
You
be
were
fine.
"We're
golden.
good here."
You were
You'll be fine.
golden. Oh, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I missed that comic.
Did I ever watch that one?
I
That's
don't,
cool.
think, I don't think
Bears.
it never got animated. That I would
What
aware
was-
of.
What was the series with the bears? The 3 bears that lived together?
Oh, the We Bear Bears.
We Bear Bears. That was a good one too.
It was a
I
good-
like
I
that
don't
one.
think I watched that one.
It's a little bit. It's a lot more tame, but it's a little bit more on. Strangely, compared to those, a little more serious, but very entertaining nonetheless.
I recently went into a huge binge on Madness comics and Madness inspired cartoons, and holy crap, some of the content out there is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Speaking
And then
of,
somehow that led into like watching A10 videos in action of them like lighting up whole fucking mountainsides. I don't know.
very nice. I think the creator of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac also did Invader Zim, right?
Correct.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of aliens, it brings us to our next topic. Mass
Finally.
Effect writer was somehow surprised players wanted to bang aliens. So let's unpack this real quick.
Yeah, set the
People
groundwork
are
because there's a
on
lot
me.
to say.
People are horny on Maine. They need the
So-
bonk.
I don't understand. Like, BioWare is certainly a newer company compared to, I don't know, Star Trek, where Captain Kirk was always chasing after that green tang. I mean,
But
Green
well, see,
Always
babies.
getting, always
see, the thing
getting.
was that was TV though, and in TV and movies that was one thing, but this is your video game where you're actually able to romance aliens and
Where
get
you're
them
in
into
control.
bed.
It's not another
Yeah,
person. It's you.
and like your
that's-
choices are what determine whether or not you are able to get these people into bed. Apparently, a lot of people wanted to get Garus into bed.
I mean, he was the husbando to get. Let's be honest.
His bando.
I mean,
I guess.
we're living in a world where an entire generation of people are falling in love with old school horror film monsters from Dead by Daylight, and this is what confuses journalists.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that I'm with you on that confusion.
Wait,
But,
when are they going to watch Freddy versus Jason? Because that's one of my favorite comedian or comic movies of all time.
No,
It's a comedy. It's
is.
not a horror film. It's
You're
a fucking
absolutely correct. But it's just there's a lot. It just like you said, horny on Maine, like on Twitter. You people talk about it all the time, and
Let's ignore my Twitter.
and and it's just like they are into that. This guy literally just goes around cutting people's heads off. And they're like, yeah, I'd climb that mountain. And then,
yeah,
but
there's some people out there.
and there's a lot of people, a lot not as nice looking as this guy. This guy looks like he's well put together, literally. This whole what's his name? Tally? Or from I'm trying to read the
Garrus.
article. Thank you, Garrus.
Yes.
He looks like he's a well put together kind of guy. He looks like he'd hold on to you in the late at night.
Well, he's that avian hybrid xeno. It's exotic, but it's still not too exotic.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. Rule 34. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We do not kink shame it. Whatever you're
No.
into, chase it, baby. Get
Chase.
yours.
Get it.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen was somebody posted, and I won't mention the site, but somebody posted a picture of a shopping cart, and they're like, Rule 34 this bitch, and somebody posted a picture of two shopping carts together.
I think that you've gone robot, Amy.
Oh no.
Your old code is coming through.
Oh no.
Getting scanned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There you
okay,
go.
there
Now
you
you're
go.
back.
Somehow it got it. What? That's whatever.
Bruh.
Fuck it. I will bruh myself.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like there's nothing that really surprises me anymore when it comes to video games, internet, and people's taste in things. There's just
No.
there's literally something for everybody, and it comes full circle. Let them do them.
Just like
Right.
coffee and beer and whiskey and wine. There's one of those for everyone.
Exactly. Like for me, I could not stand the taste of beer to save my life until I had a German beer. That
And then
stuff
you
is
found your taste.
delicious.
You
That
found
stuff
what
is-
you enjoyed.
Mhm. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. I am married to a 3/4 blooded German, so I guess that kind of lines up with what I should be into. But I digress. Still, beer is disgusting. Thank you,
Excuse me, sir.
sir. Get back to your wine. Calm down.
I spent most
Hey,
of
no,
my
no, no.
life in Texas, and Shinerbach will always be my favorite. I can't help it. Just Shinerbach, Whataburger, and you name it. Like,
Erdinger. Erdinger is a German beer, a wheat beer that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
We've now entered the alcohol segment of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus content. Let's go.
Woohoo!
Let's go ahead and go around the table, okay, Mr. Barco. What is your go-to drink?
Alexander Keith's India Pale Ale, because yeah, I like IPAs. It's a very, very mild IPA. Most people don't consider it a real IPA because you don't feel the hops kicking you upside the skull. But I love that one. I love red wines the most, but as long as they're done in like Argentina, Chile, Spain, I already said Argentina. I might be inebriated. Australia is the word I was looking for.
There it is. The other
Make
A.
some really good red wines. Yeah, I love those, and of course I make my own wine, and I'm currently drinking my own homebrew. So I'll be on the floor in a few moments.
And never get high on your own supply.
well, speaking of, I think this is probably going to be the end of the podcast. Not
Oh,
forever.
no, we ain't finished this topic yet, sir. We got to talk
No.
about your favorite drink, sir.
My favorite
Yes.
drink.
Mm-hmm. We
Well,
got 10 minutes.
Well, okay. Well, we got 10 minutes to go. Well, I'll make this fairly simple. I don't drink hardly anymore. When I did drink, it was either Shinerbach or I think I made a sugar cookie martini at one point. That was absolutely fantastic.
Ooh,
How does that work?
How? Well, it works swimmingly. It's fantastic.
sounds
Apparently.
amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it was what was it? I can't remember the recipe because I did a chocolate martini and a sugar cookie martini, and you like hang one of those sugar cookies on it that are white frosted with little speckles on it, and you run the little speckle sprinkles across the top. What was it? It was amaretto white chocolate white imitation chocolate liqueur. And I forgot what the rest of it was. I'll get you the recipe later.
I need that recipe for Christmas this year. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. It's fantastic. But there was that, and apparently my wife seems to think that I'm a master at making any drink, though I don't drink. And I'm like, okay, well,
You her own personal mixologist. That's what you're trying to say.
pretty much. You might hear it sometimes when we're not casting, and she's like, hey, could I get a country-sized margarita? And
You got it. You got it, baby.
So country size was that like
House,
freezer
happy
size?
house.
You don't know what country-sized is, I mean? Well, country-sized. Why, sir, it
Okay,
is
I
served-
work in like 40 ounces. Like a 40 is a good night.
Okay, well, it's a quart mason jar.
So like
Hmm.
couple of liters. Couple of liters there. Eh?
Ugh.
It lasts all
Oh.
day, but it's really good tequila.
Okay, if it's lasting all day, you're not trying hard enough. Wait, what?
That's for beginners.
Well,
Wait
you
a minute.
do.
No, I'm not in the Army Reserve anymore. I
Hmm.
don't need to drink that heavily
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't drink to forget here. We drink to maintain. So
That was with the Army as well. Drink to maintain.
Sir,
Gotta maintain a shape. If that
Yes,
shape
sir.
is
what
round.
what does the inaugural Beard Wizard do with his
Oh.
favorite drinks?
I mean, I'll always murder a rum and coke or a Long Island iced tea. I like cocktails. I'm a big fan of cocktails. And whiskey and scotch more so than whiskey. But yeah, those are my go-tos. But yeah, if you hand me a rum and coke, I won't say no. Like I don't care. Doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Black rum.
Yeah, Kraken
Kraken.
rum.
Fuck yes.
To be honest, Kraken rum and root beer. If it's Kraken, it's got to be root beer because it needs that
What?
extra little bit of sweetness.
No,
For
no,
me,
no,
it
no.
does.
Kraken rum and creme de menthe.
Oh,
As a
that
shot.
sounds nice. That sounds nice.
And if you do it, so if you pour in the rum first, and then take a spoon and pour the creme de menthe on top of
And
the
float it.
spoon,
Yeah.
it'll float it, and it makes a nice green-black separation.
I bet. Yeah, I knew
Oh,
a guy
it's-
that actually drank Kraken straight, and
Yes.
he was a madman.
I have done that many times. So when I was younger,
That was his preferred way to drink it. Was just,
when my liver was
like from the
much
fridge,
younger.
not from the freezer, just straight.
Yeah, when my liver was about 3 decades younger, a friend of mine would, we'd be working and he'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" I'd be like, "Oh, not much." He'd be like, "Okay, well, I'm coming over. We're going for a Kraken hunt." And he would just bring his computer over and we'd have a little bit mini LAN party and we'd drink an entire bottle of Kraken, like a 40-ounce bottle.
Yeah.
nice.
Good times.
Well, hey, we can continue this discussion. We need to wrap this up. I want to try to keep this to about an hour so I can start working on it. So,
Mhm.
I think that's going to be it as far as the cast is done today. But there'll be some after stuff as soon as I hit the stop local record button. So let's get this round table out of the way. Jaime, what have you got going?
Shit posting on Twitter per usual. You can find me at Twitter on Twitter at twitter.com/Jaime21. I have been currently trolling some Russian government accounts. Every time they spew out disinformation, I've been jumping on there with another about 10,000 mentally deficient Shiba Inu accounts as we all troll the fuck out of them.
NAFO.
The new Uganda look goes out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's almost. I'm a nice little fella. I'm a very handsome fella.
Yeah, barcode on the lapel and everything.
Exactly. Exactly. I have changed everything. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. I still am on the wishy-washy on getting back into content development just because my voice will be absolutely shot by the time we're done tonight.
Absolutely.
That's it for me.
Awesome. Mr. Boombody, what's coming down the pipes for you?
Working on getting back on into a normal streaming schedule. It's been a little rocky, but I have been getting back into that. Working on some newer crafting projects, 'cause that's one of the things that I do a lot of on on Twitch is chainmail and a little bit of leather working and whatnot. I'm working on some new projects and mediums. So that's something I've been looking forward to fleshing out a little bit more. But other than that, some variety casting, good chill times, and yeah.
Awesome. You can find him at Mr. Boombody on twitch.tv.
Mm-hmm.
Cajun.
That's me. We're still doing the July push to see if I can get to that lovely round number of 2,000 followers on TikTok, maybe 100 on YouTube for my my 12-hour shiny hunt challenge that I will make as my debut return to streaming myself.
Nice.
Trying my best to get there, and in between, I am still frantically working on my little book project that we mentioned last week, and it's all content all the time.
Awesome.
You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Same handle, the Nordic Cajun. You can't miss me. The big guy grinning.
And I'm your host, Luminary Weekly. You can find all of this content, along with all the shorts I've cut out of all of our episodes, along with some really old content from way back in the day, at my YouTube channel.
Yesteryears.
Oh, the yesteryears, indeed. My YouTube
Quick question.
channel. Yes.
Have anything old enough that's
It's been 84 years.
yeah, do you have anything that old, Lumi? From
Yes.
if you have that clip.
No.
Oh, that's my favorite clip.
It's on my channel.
That's my favorite clip. I feel so bad about it. That's not my favorite clip.
Yeah.
Someone tongue punch you in the fart box?
Yes.
can smell you.
I can smell you.
That's just creepy.
You can follow
On
me.
that note, so long, everyone.
Take care now. Bye-bye, then.
You can follow me on Twitter, Luminary Weekly, YouTube, Luminary Weekly. You're already here. This is twitch.tv, Luminary Weekly. I'm also on TikTok, Luminary Weekly, posting the same stuff over and over again. So, yeah. Other than that, you can catch us live here on Twitch every Saturday night at 10:30 UTC -5 p.m. We'll have some great content for you. And anything else we need to say?
Bruh.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
All right.
Be good to each other. Stop being
Yes,
dicks.
be kind,
Be
be
kind to one
wonderful,
another.
and love everybody equally.
There
Being,
you
So
go.
long, everyone.
being kind to people is free. Do it.
Yes.
All right. Have a
No
good one.
effort.